I'm Allison Reed, and today I want to talk to you about something that's very important to myself and my family's life, and that's diabetes. According to the American Diabetes Association, 29.1 million people in the United States had diabetes in 2012. 1.25 million of those people had type 1 diabetes. Every year, more and more people are diagnosed with diabetes. In America alone, there are 1.4 million new diagnoses every year, and that number continues to grow. None of the class knew just how many people suffer from type 1 diabetes out of everybody that has diabetes. Most of you guessed between 12 and 26% when the real number is only 5%. That may not seem like a lot, but when you compare it to the 1.25 million, that's quite a huge number of people, and especially children, being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. About half of you knew the different types of diabetes. Today I'm going to focus on type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. There's also gestational diabetes, which is definitely something to look into if you're pregnant or if you have a risk of diabetes in your family. The American Diabetes Association is dedicated to finding a cure for diabetes in many different ways. They are also very involved in different ways to control a person's risk for type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is very personal to me because my brother was diagnosed when he was 11 years old. As a family, we had to make a lot of changes to our diets and lifestyles to help control his diabetes. Diabetes can be a very scary disease if not handled correctly, and many other health problems can occur if not dealt with responsibly. My family has been hoping, praying, and donating to work for a cure for diabetes for over 20 years, and I hope that after today, many of you will wish to join the fight as well. The number of Americans with diabetes continues to grow, and the majorities are regarding type 2 diabetes. According to the American Diabetes Association, diabetes is ranked at 7 in the leading causes of death in the United States. When a person is diagnosed with diabetes, many other complications can arise. These include hypoglycemia, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, kidney disease, and amputations. These other diseases make having diabetes that much scarier. The cost of having type 1 diabetes is also very expensive. My brother, who has good health insurance and takes very good care of himself, spends $700 alone on just insulin in 3 months. That does not include his doctor visits, his testing strips, his needles, or anything else he may need. These costs can be very devastating for a person who may be struggling financially. Also, if you're not very meticulous in the way you take care of your diabetes, it can cause instant death or other problems. When a person with diabetes has blood sugar that goes too low or too high, they can end up having seizures, blurry vision, and can fall into a diabetic coma, which can ultimately kill you pretty quickly. With almost the entire class knowing at least one person with either type 2 or type 1 diabetes, we can see just how alarming the number of people being diagnosed is. We need to fight, and we need to find a cure soon. To help find a cure for type 2 diabetes, the best thing we can do is try to change our lifestyles and our family and friends' lifestyles. By eating healthier and exercising 30 minutes a day, you can greatly reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes. Try eating more fruits and vegetables and whole grains, simple lean meats, and fish. Simply doing 30 minutes of any cardio exercise or aerobics such as swimming, walking, running is just how easy it is a day to way lower your chances of getting type 2 diabetes. If you're overweight, these tips will also help you lose weight, which will again reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes. The American Diabetes Association has many ways to help raise money to find a cure and fight for type 1 diabetes as well. The first is to join the Tour de Cure, which is a bicycle race that they do all over the country to support awareness for type 1 diabetes. If you don't own a bike or you're not into bike riding, there's always another option. They also have Step Out, which is a simple 5K walk that helps find a cure for diabetes as well and raises all that money. If you don't feel like doing either of those things, you can always volunteer. They always need people to speak to different representatives of their state to try to get the state to help with some money. They need people to volunteer for each of the Tour de Cure and for the Step Out. So volunteering is always a great way. Plus, the more you learn about diabetes, the more you can inform your family and your friends, and hopefully they can help tell everybody else and help find a cure and solve the growing crisis in America of how many people are contracting this disease. Lastly, and the easiest way to make a donation is to simply go online to diabetes.org and make a monetary donation. You can either do a one-time donation or a recurring donation every month or every few months. And that's easy. It's an extra $5, $10, or $15 out of your pocket today that will go towards finding a cure for this deadly and devastating disease. There are so many simple ways to donate to finding a cure for diabetes, and with how at risk many of us are, our family and friends are all this information and volunteering could save the lives of our loved ones. So take a bike ride or a walk and raise some money. Thank you.